Hey, are you doing okay?
I tried to look back, but he held me against his chest so I couldn't see his face. This made me feel even more concerned. Maybe what Kyoko was telling me about the bite and how he would be needing more blood soon is what's bothering him.
Y- yeah.
He grabbed his phone and was looking through some messages. I'm assuming they are from Kyoko. It's good that he is talking to her before we have another episode like the last time.
Shuichi?
I grabbed his phone and looked at the messages displayed on the screen. I could tell he was blushing, and I didn't even have to look at him to know. When he blushes, he tends to tense up, and I could feel him tense behind me when I grabbed his phone.
Kyoko. Hey, Shuichi. After drinking blood for the first time, you are going to need more soon. It could be the next day or the next week, even. Kyoko. I told Kokichi earlier and told him about this, and he told me he was willing to do it if that's what you needed. Shuichi. Is it really okay for me to take some?
Uh, I...
I looked back at him with a frown. Why didn't he just tell me about this? I could tell he was feeling guilty about what happened last time with the blood drinking. I held his hand and caressed his cheek with my other hand.
Shuichi, it's okay if you need more. Kyoko told me about this after the first time you bit me.
I moved away from him and pulled my shirt down a bit so it was revealing my neck. I was alright if he needed my blood. I mean, dating a vampire is a given that there is going to be some blood drinking involved.
But...
I cut him off by kissing him. I could feel him tense against my lips, making me frown a bit. I didn't want him to feel bad about having to do this again. I kept my eyes closed and tried my best to steady my breathing. This was able to keep him calm as well, because I know he can hear my heart beating.
Kokichi, I need...
He couldn't even form the words to ask me. I smiled slightly and mentally prepared myself for what he was going to do.
It's alright, Shu. Take all you need.
I whispered. He looked over at my exposed shoulder and blushed a bit. He slowly moved towards me and gently bit down on my neck. I felt my stomach fill with butterflies all over again. The numbing feeling overcame my senses. Whenever Shuichi does this, I mean, the one time he has done this, it made me feel so close to him, filling my senses and filling my thoughts. All I could think of was Shuichi. His hands moving up to my hair, grasping at the strands. I wrapped my arms around his neck and shivered. I felt him start to pull away. I'm sure it was because of how my body reacted. I held him in place, knowing that even if he needed more, he would deny it because he would feel guilty for asking. He pulled back. After he finished, I felt my body slump against the back of the bed. I felt so tired, but so warm at the same time. Shuichi had a blush across his cheeks and some of my blood dripping down his chin. I wanted to wipe it away for him, but couldn't move my arms. I closed my eyes a bit before shaking my head. I don't want to fall asleep just yet. I want Shuichi to stay with me. I don't want him to leave me. He moved back in to lick my wound, making it heal almost instantly. I felt relaxed and my body wanted to just give in to sleep, but I didn't let in just yet. I grabbed his shirt and tried to get him to stay close to me.
Shuichi.
My eyes fluttered closed for a moment before his phone buzzed. He must have glanced at the screen, but I couldn't see what he was doing because all my senses seemed to be shutting down. Just having him there next to me makes me feel so relaxed. The warm feeling in my chest, being able to feel him next to me by the weight on the bed, and being able to hear his quiet breathing. After a moment, he immediately stood up and left the room. I immediately felt my eyes shoot open.
Shuichi!
I felt tears coming out of my eyes and sobs starting to burst through my throat. I remember the first time he bit me and I got emotional when he left, but it wasn't this bad. All of the thoughts were plagued with sadness and loneliness. I couldn't even think of anything other than the fact that Shuichi wasn't there beside me. He was probably gone for about 5 minutes and I was already bawling and clinging to his pillow. I was going to reach for his jacket hanging on the chair, but I couldn't bear to move away from the warmth on the bed. His warmth on the bed.
Kokichi! Are you okay?
Shuichi gasped, walking over to me. I couldn't see him from my blurry vision, but he soon pulled me into his arms. I wanted to say something, but I just sobbed onto his shoulder. Why did he leave me? Am I not good enough? Is it because I'm so disgusting he doesn't want me anymore? I know I'm not much to look at or something many people want to be around, but why? Why did he leave me?
Why did you leave me?
I sobbed. My tears were staining his shirt. I wanted to apologize for the scene I'm causing and the mess I'm making, but I couldn't even get the words out of my mouth.
Sorry, baby. I love you, and I'm not going to leave your side.
He held me, and I just kept sobbing onto his shirt. I was clinging onto him because I was so worried that he was going to leave again. I don't want him to leave again. I need him by my side.
Why would you? Am I not good enough for you?
I looked up at him with more tears pouring down my cheeks. I could tell he was worried about me. I hated making him have to see me this vulnerable. I've always hated crying in front of others. From having to go to my mom's funeral and all the times I've had people hurt me before, I was always able to just smile at them and cry when I was alone. But now all these feelings are so real and overpowering, I can't even control them.
Oh, Cookie, you are more than enough for me. I didn't mean to leave you. I just wanted to get you some water and some snacks so you can recover.
Shuichi sounded panicky, and I felt bad for putting him in this state. But at this point, I couldn't even focus on anything more than the immense pain in my chest.
Why couldn't I go with you?
I asked in a hoarse voice. He pulled me closer to his chest and held onto my upper back. While he was rubbing my back, my sobs slowed, and I calmed down, feeling his chest rise and fall.
I'm sorry. I was just so worried that I hurt you. I didn't think about that.
I could tell he was about to cry. I wanted to just show him how much he means to me. But in this state, all I could do was shake against him.
I love you,
I said, holding out the words. I used the rest of my energy to move and kiss his lips. He kissed back almost immediately and took over the kiss. I felt calmer when I was kissing him and finally felt the overwhelming feeling of pain leave my chest.
I love you too, Kichi. I'm sorry I left you alone. I didn't mean to make you feel this way.
Shuichi looked to the side with tears in his eyes. I felt my energy come back, so I kissed both of his cheeks before placing one on his forehead.
It's alright, sorry. I just get really clingy and emotional after that, it seems.
I whispered, pulling him into an embrace. He smiled against my shoulder, making me sigh.
I won't leave you alone when we do this again.
I could tell he was serious by the tone of his voice. It made me feel safe knowing he cared enough about me to be okay with all of this.